Hello everybody and welcome to today's ACSA action as we are now here in week 7 of this inaugural season of the ACSA. We got 5 games, yes, I said it man, 5 games in this episode, starting with Montana A&M going on the road to play against Ron Burgundy's Anchormen. Should be a very good way to start off this episode. So you're excited about these 5 games tipping off here in week 7. Do me a favor and hit that like button as well as hit subscribe if you happen to be new. And that's a way to start the episode right there. Income breaking the top off the defense and no one's there to try to get this man. He is gone like a girl in a country song. And that's how this episode starts from the jump. Ron Burgundy getting a huge touchdown pass and taking an early 7-0 lead against the Montana A&M Coyotes. We'll see if they can respond though as they try to throw over in the middle, but Kevin Bobs is there. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there with that interception for the Ron Burgundy defense. So they get the football to work with once again. Things are looking good early for the Anchormen, who have fallen on some hard times, doing too terribly well in Big Pacific Conference play. But always one of my favorite teams to look at just because, I mean, it's Ron Burgundy, man. Who doesn't love the Ron Burgundy movies? As we have 3rd and 4 over the middle. Income had the big touchdown grab. Makes a huge reception once again in traffic, but it does not matter though. As now we got 1st and 10 going over the middle. Once again, it's overthrown. It was nearly intercepted in the process. As 2 plays later, the Anchormen have a 3rd and 13. Going to throw it over to Sievert, who does pick up the yardage needed in order to pick up that 1st down. Also almost getting him into the red zone as well. But we see a second quick touchdown from Ron Burgundy. As we'll go to the left-hand side, find Karamea, who gets across the 10-yard line for another 1st down. Put him in that 1st and goal situation. Lamel now dropping back once again. They love doing some air raid action up in here and throwing it to the right-hand side for a nice gain. As now, 2nd and goal, Lamel dropping back once again, getting it over to the left-hand side, but it's batted away at the last second. So an incompletion leading to that 3rd and goal. Lamel going to try to throw to the right-hand side one more time. Again, incomplete. So the Burgundy Anchormen had to settle for a field goal, but still enjoying an early 10-0 lead as they're also stifling this Montana A&M offense. We'll see if they can keep up the strong start as Inku makes another grab once again. That is not a repeat of another play. That is Inku once again going deep and making a grab. 3rd time he's done that in the 1st quarter alone. You'll love to see that as an Anchorman fan. It's now 3rd and 9 starting off his 2nd quarter. Lamel dropping back to pass. He's going to try to scramble out the pocket. He makes a couple guys miss and finally slides down across the 25-yard line for a nice gain as well. So a 1st down for the Anchormen as Lamel will drop back once again. Get it over to Sievert, who gets him a 6-yard gain. A nice one over the middle as well, courtesy of that crossing route. It's now 2nd and 4 once again. This time a rare handoff for Ron Burgundy. And it goes for a 1st down as well. Montana A&M not necessarily passing, ready for it. They've been getting used to those pass plays. As we'll see Lamel try to scramble again. And this time he leaps into the end zone. Push forward by Montana A&M guy. Imagine being the defender that gives the other team a touchdown. Probably not a good look going over to the sideline. As they'll try for better results this time. Ron Burgundy taking full control over this football game right now. Starting off on a 17-0 lead. You love the start that they are having right now. As Lamel will once again scramble out of the pocket and pick up some good yards there. An 8-yard gain that makes it 3rd and manageable coming up. Although it looks like they're going to run it. No, they're going to be another pass play. Lamel going to shoot it over to the left-hand side. Gets his Spectre out of backfield. Wide but naked open, and it's another touchdown for Ron Burgundy. And these Anchormen are off to a hot start once again. Up 24-0 in this ball game already. We'll see if Montana A&M can recover. They actually do get across the 50-yard line, believe it or not. So maybe they can start the 2nd quarter run right here. though Elder of Montana A&M falls short of the first down marker. But they at least get that 0 off the board, have at least scored some points in this ball game. And so they're going to try to start chipping away. They do force a 3 and out at the very least. We'll see if they can keep that energy up as they slide down once again with Elder. Gets him across the 50-yard line, and only for the second time today, Montana A&M is across the 50-yard line. We'll see if they can turn it into more than just a field goal this time around, as they got an 8-yard gain on the left-hand side thanks to a pass play. And then they'll try to pick up the first down with Dan Clark, who takes a tough shot but still hangs on to the football though in order to retain that first down. As now 1st and 10 going to the left-hand side to Kramer, who has one man left to beat but gets tackled out of bounds. At the 10-yard line though, nice defense by that man in secondary, as they have a 1st and goal situation for the very first time today. Though the QB sack that they just took right there is not going to help the cause necessarily, as they'll try to go over the middle to get their first touchdown of this game. It's incomplete. And now 3rd and long, Elder needing a throw, tries to get it over the right-hand side, a miscommunication. That's going to force another field goal for Montana A&M. So just not a great job by their offense getting some points on the board. Only scoring 6 points, you know, no matter how good the defense is, that's simply not going to get the job done. As Dobbins has a big play, as look at this. We also have a roughing the passer penalty on top of that. And so that gives them an additional yardage after the play. So a 1st and goal, they get it over to Billy, who gets their first score of the day for the Anchormen. Touchdown Coyotes. And then on top of that, they're also going to go for 2. Elder, can he be successful trying to get it over the middle? It's incomplete. And so it remains a 12-point game. Not sure what they were thinking necessarily with the 2-point conversions. Might be a little early for that. But look at this though. They get an interception. And they still have 3 timeouts and 3.5 minutes left to play. They might be able to pull this comeback yet here, ladies and gentlemen. It really depends on what they do on this drive though, as they have a 3rd and 4 coming up, taking their time, getting to the line of scrimmage. Tries to get it over to Clark, who can't get to the first down marker. Interesting enough, if they would have just waited for that one guy to get offside, they would have had an automatic first down. But instead, they're going to attempt this field goal, which is well short. So now with less than 2 minutes left, Montana A&M is able to get back to football, but need to score quick here in order, you know, to have a chance to come back and win this football game. We'll see if they can get it done, as now they have another 1st and 10. This time outside the 25-yard line, as that could have really helped their chances right there. But it's incomplete. And now 3rd and 7. Clark going to try to run for the first down. He's short as well. Not only was he short, Montana A&M settles for a field goal. That's the last time they score. Ron Burgundy does get back over 500 with this 24-15 win over Montana A&M. So now we move on to the second game of this 5-game episode that we got going on here. And we're going to check out some big Southwest Conference action as we're watching New Mexico Tech, which is the only Power 5 team to not win a single game yet this season, trying to get that first win that they are desperately searching for, as they will be playing the Lensville Vikings, who may be in the bottom half of the big Southwest Conference right now, but this is a solid football team. So New Mexico Tech really needs to bring their A game if they want to have a chance to win this game. As you've seen the talent on compared to both teams, Lensville has a huge advantage, you know. So again, New Mexico Tech can't afford to make any mistakes. They have to win the turnover battle, you know, and get some other things bouncing their way. Alston tries to get that carry. That's going to help their cause. New Mexico Tech forces a turnover, and so they get decent field position thanks to that. Because what they do on offense is going to really help them. But look what they do. They fumble the football back. And so New Mexico Tech turns the ball back over to Wentzville thanks to that fumble right there. As now Wentzville, the Vikings have the football once again. 2nd and 11 coming up now. Smith dropping back to pass. He's got a man in the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. Hampson beating the defender with ease using that corner route. And that's 7 points on the board for the Lensville Vikings, as the Big Southwest team from Missouri strikes first with their first points of the game. We'll see how New Mexico Tech responds. They are one of the worst offenses in the ACSA, at least the worst offense in the Big Southwest Conference, as we might have a touchdown thrown here one-on-one, but it's overthrown, incomplete. So going to try again, 3rd and 1, going over the middle to Bell, who makes a man miss, and look at this! The Conquistadors get on the board and ties things up with the Lensville Vikings. And we got ourselves a little bit of game right here late through this first quarter. And this game is still all tied up. We'll see how these Vikings can respond, though, after that touchdown by the Conquistadors. And it's looking good for the Vikings. They do get across their own 40-yard line for a nice first down on that one. As now, 1st and 10. Smith drop it back on a throw over the middle. It's nearly intercepted. Drops on that one. As they'll now try again, another pass play coming up here. This time completing it to the correct player over to Smith on the left-hand side for a first down on that one. As now, 1st and 10. Smith dropping back. He's looking, gonna go to right-hand side. It's incomplete again. And so last play of the first quarter coming up. Let's see if New Mexico Tech can end the first quarter on a high note. Although they almost give up a first down right there, as they switch sides of the field for this next quarter of play. And it starts off pretty good for the Vikings, but one of the receivers does get a little shaken up. Gonna need a little bit of stem and ice in order to take care of himself, but I'm sure he'll be alright. He's a tough kid. Watches hockey highlights, of course. As now we got a 1st and 5, thanks to an offsides penalty. Smith throwing across his body, doing a no-look pass over to White, and wow, what a throw! Good for 6 points for the Vikings. And thanks to that immaculate throw, Wentzville takes the lead once again. And now New Mexico Tech needs to come up with their own response here, as Allen, the quarterback for New Mexico Tech, is able to get a clean pocket and scramble up out of there for a huge first down. That'll certainly help the Conquistadors out as they face another 1st and 10 going to the right-hand side to Barnett, but he fumbles the football, though. And Wentzville does recover. And so great field position once again for a team that was heavily favored already, as they might add to this lead thanks to that big throw over to Salio. That gets them inside the 15-yard line. So the Vikings now driving, 1st and 10. Smith over the middle. Decino, he's in. Touchdown, Vikings. And Wentzville improves their lead. And after a series of field goals, Wentzville coming back on the field of their offense, 24-10. Offenses have slowed down a little bit here. Maybe the Conquistadors are settling down to a degree on the defensive side of the ball. But they got to get another stop on defense. They're in deep in New Mexico State territory, and that's not going to help the cause. Piccolo getting away from the defender. It was well covered, and then after the catch was made, didn't even bother to make the tackle. So an easy touchdown for the Vikings as they extend this lead further. Now a 21-point difference that they are currently experiencing out there. As now, 2nd and 10. Smith dropping back to pass. He's looking to the right-hand side. Gets the Piccolo again, who nearly gets to the first down marker thanks to a couple of broken tackles. As now 3rd and 1 coming up once again. Going to Alston on the right-hand side. He's got some running range to work with. And because of that, gets him across, ironically, the 42-yard line because that's his jersey number. As now, another 1st and 10. Another run coming for Wentzville as they get a good run here, but they forget about the football, though. New Mexico Tech can't do anything with it, but Wentzville playing a little bit sloppier than you would like. As so, New Mexico Tech, after a free now, gives the ball back to Wentzville. And you do pick off right where they left off for the Rose Park. A big gain over the middle that gets them into New Mexico Tech territory. Things are looking pretty rough for sure for these Conquistadors. You can see why they haven't won a single game yet this season. They just really got to work on the recruiting, especially in the back end, when you have a guy wide butt naked open in the back of the end zone. Another touchdown for the Vikings. And so they're just continuing to open up this lead. And another 3 and out later, they go deep once again and winning downfield again. Zeno gone like a girl in a country song as Lensville in Big Southwest Conference play is going to cruise to an easy 45-10 victory, improving to 5-2 on the inaugural season. Moving on from the heartland of America, now moving to the beautiful state of Vermont, we're going to get ready for some National Athletic Conference action between the St. John Jake's Yankees and the Burlington Vipers that are representing the great state of Vermont. Yes, Vermont, as we do have all 50 states included in the ACSA among 130 teams that we do have. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get this game underway as both teams are competing to potentially be, one of those squads that go to the National Athletic Championship game. So a big game for both squads here. St. John Jake's riding a win the last time that we saw them on the John Jake Gaming channel. We'll see if they can get it done again, as they got a nice drive going here, 2nd and 2, trying to pick up the first down with a quarterback sneak. And while running room was tough to come by, they were able to pick up the first down. As now they're on the edge of field goal range, and that's going to help them out a lot more, as Cash Money gets them into the red zone for the first time today. St. John Jake's looks to get the first points on the board. We'll see if they can get it done as they go towards the back of the end zone. It is deflected away. As the code plays later, now facing a 3rd and 7. But we're dropping back, trying to hit somebody, but it was him that got hit. And the Jakeys had to settle for a field goal. But St. John Jake still enjoying an early 3-0 lead as it turned into a little bit of a defensive slugfest. Neither offense really doing much of anything, but we finally see something towards the end of the first half as Hood's able to make some running room happen, but fumbles the football though. And so St. John Jake's takes over with less than 1 minute left to play, as now an incompletion 2 plays later makes it 3rd and 9. Could try to pick up the first down. And despite great field position, St. John Jake's ends up going 3 and out. So a golden opportunity being lost right there. Burlington is considered one of the better teams in the ACSA, at least among National Athletic Conference teams. And they're giving them everything they can handle as they have been shut out through the first half. We'll see if the second half is a different story as Burlington is driving down the football field, now inside the red zone, thanks to that scramble. As 3rd and 3, Hood looking for more room and gets just enough to reach the first down marker. As now, 2 plays later, Blankeny dropping back and trying to go over the middle. It's nearly intercepted though. But still a 3rd and long awaiting this team. Will Burlington have to settle for a field goal as well? Blankeny looking to try to get it into the end zone. He's got a man. He got Landry. And Burlington, we finally got ourselves a lead change. But look at this. They're going to decide to go for 2 despite the fact that they're ahead. Not sure what they're thinking, but the bold strategy works out for them, Cotton, as Lamer picks up the 2-point conversion. And so definitely a unique score that we got going on. Burlington now up 8-3 in this ball game, but it could change here pretty soon as Burlington gets an interception following that 8-point drive. Now the Vipers are driving once again on 2nd and 8. Blankeny dropping back over the middle, gets it to Lamer, who almost gets into the end zone but is sucked up by the 1-yard line monster. As now 1st and goal, gonna go to the right hand side to Marcus. He gets into the end zone, but a holding penalty is gonna take those points off the board and brings them out to the 11-yard line. As 1st and goal once again, going to Lamer another time, who actually gets hurt on that one. Gonna be out for a few plays. So bare minimum, we won't see him for the rest of the drive, as Hood does end up finishing the touchdown drive a couple plays later. So that holding penalty does not kill them at the end of the day. So you love to see that for sure. As Burlington does elect to kick the extra point this time around. does now have a 15-3 lead as they try to get something going on in that St. John Jake's offense, but another fumble. Yes, another fumble in Jakey's territory. Gives Burlington a beautiful opportunity to get on the board once again. As Weimer picks up another first down. Was a little shaken up earlier in this game, but he is now back. Like a sprained ankle, he ain't nothing to play with, that's for sure. Does have one touchdown grab in this game so far. As we have an illegal procedure on the Burlington offense. That's going to knock them back a few yards. So instead of 3rd and 10, they're now facing 3rd and 15. Not a place to be. And you can see why as Williams gets stuffed. And so they had to settle once again for another field goal. Not exactly what you want to do, but Burlington still enjoying an 18-3 lead here late in this 3rd quarter of play. But things could change here as he's got some blocks. Can he get through the middle? Yes, he does. Can someone catch this man? No, he cannot. And he is gone. Like a girl in a country song. Touchdown. Jakey's right there, baby. And so the lead now cut down to 9 points. Can they cut it to 7? No, they don't. The conversion is no good. So instead of an extra point, they go for 2. It doesn't work. And so it still remains a 2-possession game. You know, despite the touchdown. And then they won't get into that deficit any further thanks to that fumble. So they need this defense to make a stand. We'll see if they can make it happen, though. As Williams makes the catch over on the left sideline. Very risque throw over that sideline. Only for 5 yards, too. But, I mean, it wasn't picked off. So, I mean, whatever you want to do, boo-boo, you do you. It's now 1st and 10. Blakeney dropping back the pass, going over in the middle. And it's incomplete once again. As now we got another 2nd and 10 coming up. Blakeney set to drop back the pass. Has a clean pocket. Going over the middle to Christie. And is brought down on the 7-yard line. Burlington looking to add some more points to this lead. As Blakeney dropping back. Going to the right-hand side. Slightly overthrown. So now 3rd and goal coming up. Blakeney trying to throw towards the end zone. But it's dropped. They do so for a field goal, but Burlington gets the last laugh, though, winning this game by a final score of 21-9. The Vipers improving to 5-2. So now with that game officially over, it's time to get into a little bit of a rarity here on this ACSA series. There's only 6 teams that aren't in a single conference this season. And we got 2 of them finally playing each other. The Modesto State Buccaneers, who just got their first win against Phoenix State recently, going on the road to play against S1W7 of New England. And even though they're under 500, this team is a lot better than they look. Could be one of the better teams if they were in a Power 5 conference. And you can see why as one of the first plays of the game. Huron beats the Modesto State defense deep and gets on the board right away for a touchdown. We'll see what Modesto State can do, though, as they were able to pull off an immaculate upset just last week against the Phoenix State Flames from the Big Pacific Conference. We'll see if they can have such luck again, though, as Butler will drop back again on 1st and 10. Going to try to send this deep. Gets it to Wilson, and look at this. They tie the football game. So Modesto State, the little engine that could, is going neck to neck with S1W7 of New England. But how long will it last, though? They are heavily favorited. The talent on the depth charts is just so great. I don't know if Modesto State will be able to do it 2 weeks in a row. But you love to see them fighting and staying competitive for as long as they currently are. And counting as well. This is still only a 3-point game as well. As now Wood and Davis and company facing 2nd and 1. Wide open man will walk as Modesto State sends the entire house. But they weren't running the football, though, and they're going to pay for it. Touchdown Crusaders. And so now 17-7 here. But things could change, though, for the Buccaneers as they do get a fumble. Unfortunately, it does not lead to any points, however. as the Crusaders continue to build on this lead, now up 20-7 currently. And it is a first down for New England. Is now 1st and 10. Davis dropping back. Gonna just check it out to Gaines, who gains another first down for the Crusaders. As they're now sitting on just about the edge of the red zone right now. Gonna hand it off to Morgan, who's able to slice and dice to the first down marker, and that will indeed get them in the red zone this time around. As now facing another 1st and 10. Davis going to the right hand side. That could have potentially been a touchdown, but is incomplete as it was overthrown. But Davis will still try again, this time going into the end zone. Finds Willock again. Another touchdown for the Crusaders. And with another free and out by Modesto State, Crusaders have the football right back, and they are certainly in deep trouble now. 3rd and 3 now for the Crusaders. Marquise Davis drops back to pass for him. Standing like a statue, finds a man in Brooks, who gets him into the red zone once again for the Crusaders. Brooks getting him down to about the 12-yard line. As now 2nd and 6. Going to Willock again. He's got a couple of grabs for touchdowns. Makes another nice catch over there, having to jump up and grab it, so nice job for him. As Davis will go to Owens again, who gets lit up like a Christmas tree after he makes the catch, but does manage to hold on though. And now they face 1st and goal. Davis looking to finish the drive, and they will do just that as Brooks finds the end zone again for the Crusaders. So they continue to extend this lead, now up 34-7. But Modesto State, though, they still got a little bit of fight left in them. They're just not going to give up that easily, as they do get a sack on that play, even get them to a 3rd and long. But when you give up that many yards on a 3rd and long, that is tough to deal with. And so now facing another 1st and 10, Davis set to drop back and pass once again. Gets it over to Willock, who's actually pushed forward for another first down as well. So now 1st and 10. Davis dropping back to pass. He's looking, facing pressure, and still gets it to Owens despite facing double coverage. You can't play much better coverage than that, you know, so it is sad to see it how it is, as Gaines picks up 5 more yards there to continue moving the football forward for the Crusaders. As now 2nd and 5, going with Morgan, who is able to power forward to pick up some more tough yards. And that's a nice way to end the 3rd quarter as well. But when the 4th quarter starts, we have an interception. Modesto State doesn't do anything with it, unfortunately, but they do at least get a nice defensive play, at least to help make them feel good, because this looks like it's going definitely New England's way, as they now have another 1st and 10 to work with, as Davis dropping back to pass. Look at who it is. Another interception by Modesto State. Don't even need the offense this time around, because Buckner is going to take it back for a pick 6 to try to cut into this lead. And look at this, Modesto State, they feeling themselves a little bit after that pick 6. They're going to decide to go for 2, try to run it down the middle as well. The conversion is no good though. So it's now 34-13. So after 2 consecutive interceptions to start this 4th quarter, we'll see how Marquise Davis can respond. You know, that's not how you close a team out, necessarily throwing consecutive turnovers. As they do go to left-hand side, throwing once again. That's nearly intercepted as well. But this falls harmlessly to the ground for an incompletion. As 3rd and 4 on the next play to get over to Gaines on a quick slant pattern. Nobody out there to guard him either. So an easy first down. As now 2nd and 7, 2 plays later. Morgan gonna push upfield to get up to about the 40-yard line as well. Crusaders continuing to push upfield as well, as Davis looks to add to make it touchdown number 5. Can he get it? Yes, he does. Owens with another touchdown grab. The 5th touchdown pass by Marquise Davis. As Modesto State going to try to get some more points on the board. We are, looks like, in a garbage time at this point now. We'll see if at least the Buccaneers can finish on a strong note. I don't think they're going to get win number 2. Unless a miracle from God literally comes down in the last 4 minutes But we'll see if that happens, as Wilson does have a nice spin move and gets away from a defender to pick up a couple of extra yards in the process. It's now 2nd and 5, but we're dropping back to pass. He's looking around. Gonna go ahead trying to scramble. And it's gonna be brought down from behind. A diving tackle preventing more yards gained. So a first down for Modesto State. But we're dropping back again. Gets it to Wilson, who's got a good gain. One man left to beat, but the man not only tackles him, but makes him fumble it as well. And so these last few minutes going to be all about New England. Going to try to run out some clock, and who knows, maybe we'll put up some more points on the board. And we'll just have to wait and see if they manage to do anything with it. And there's only a minute and a half now. Davis going to the left-hand side to Brooks, who fumbles the football. So another turnover, but it doesn't change the outcome, though. Yes, Piccolo of New England beating Modesto State by a final score of 41-13. They get themselves back on track a little bit now, improving their record up to 3-4 in the season. And for the final game that we got going for today's episode, we take a look at the Little Rock Yellow Jackets, who since beat University of Alabama Hoover, now up here in the top 25. Playing up against a former top 25 team in their own right in the University of Georgia in Cartersville Peach Panthers. One of the more unique teams in the ACSA. We'll see if Little Rock can continue the momentum, as they are simply on fire right now. Slowly but surely turning into an overnight dark horse to potentially be one of the representatives to the college football playoff. As Stevens looks to send one deep down the middle of the field, gets it to Lassiter, and jumps into the end zone. A quick touchdown for the Yellow Jackets. And Little Rock right from the get-go taking a 7-0 lead. And also forcing a free and out in the process, as well, as the Peach Panthers have for the most part been contained so far. Little Rock now enjoying a 10-0 lead at the moment. It's now 2nd and 10. Stevens looking to go deep again, gets it to Murphy, who somehow gets out of that double coverage, breaks another tackle, diving defender can't get to him, and then dives for the end zone. Touchdown for Little Rock, and things are escalating very quickly up in here. Little Rock now with a 17-0 lead, and we are just getting started, just finishing off the first quarter of play. Though things do slow down for a bit, neither team scoring so far in the second quarter of play, and we're already halfway through. So the Peach Panthers must be starting to settle down just a little bit, but the Little Rock offense continuing to look very impressive so far. As they have a 3rd and 2 now, going to go to Allen on the right-hand side. He's got a nice running lane, only one more man to beat, and does get tripped up at about the 33-yard line. But what a great run, though, by Randall Allen. Matter of fact, they're going to go to him again. Not as big of a run this time around, but still a nice 8-yard gain picked up on the play. It's now 2nd and 2. Stevens looking around, going to send one deep towards the end zone. Gets it to Lassiter for his 2nd score of the day. The big tight end getting some looks in the red zone. And so now up 24-0, the Peach Panthers certainly got to get their move on, and if they want to at least avoid, getting completely exposed, completely blown out. As Whitwell trying to take it on the left-hand side, does cut it back to the right and pick up a first down on that one. As now, 2 plays later, Banks dropping back to pass. He's got a man downfield. He's going to shoot it for him, and he does. Gets it to Demby, who gets him into the red zone. The Peach Panthers looking to get their first points of this game. We'll see if they can get it done, as they got a 2nd and 8. Trying to throw over in the middle. It's incomplete. But we also have a flag on the play as well. It's a pass interference. One of the Little Rock defensive backs. That's going to make it half the distance to the goal, and Newell's going to make them pay on the very next play. Getting the first points on the board for the Peach Panthers. And they're feeling a little greedy. They're actually going to go ahead and try to go for 2 here. Banks going to try to throw it to the right corner. A very ill-advised throw. They're lucky it was incomplete. But either way, they do not get the 2-point conversion. But they do cut into his lead a little bit now, 24-6. So let's see if the Peach Panthers can build off of that. They're trying to claw their way back to this game now. 2nd and 5. Banks going to the right-hand side. Gets it to Johnson, who immediately goes out of bounds. Had plenty of room to work with, but just wasn't thrown soon enough to make that happen. And now another 1st and 10. Getting into Newell on the left-hand side. He even gets some running room. Nice yards after the catch. Almost gets to midfield, though. You love to see that. As now 1st and 10. Banks looking to the right-hand side. Tries to get to his receiver. It was Mike Newell that was open on that right-hand side, but it's incomplete. So got to rock and roll again, this time on a 2nd and 10. Banks facing pressure, going to try to throw it over the right-hand side, but it's intercepted this time. With defensive backs catching on. Turn the football over in favor of Little Rock. So let's see if the Peach Panthers can get themselves back on track, or will they seize momentum as Lassiter breaks away from 2 tackles, and what a huge touchdown pass. Once again, Lassiter with his 3rd TD grab of this game. Have yourself a day, young man. And Little Rock gets some more points on the board, now extending this lead out. It's 34-6. It is not looking good for the Peach Panthers. We're already midway through the 4th quarter, although an offside penalty by Little Rock is going to help them out a little bit. We'll see if they can build off it, though, as they have a 1st and 10 now thanks to the penalty. Banks going to try to get up the middle and picks up a decent yardage. But the clock is continuing to run. We're now about halfway through the 2nd quarter. You got to hurry up now. The Peach Panthers want to come back, as Johnson is able to pick up the 1st down easily. Is now 1st and 10 once again. Banks set to drop back and pass. Get over the middle to Johnson, who makes a nice grab in, looks like double or even triple coverage. Still able to make the catch for the 1st down, though, as Banks going to try to run it once again. Not sure what they're exactly thinking. Just a 4-yard gain. Is now 2nd and 6. Banks dropping back to pass. He's looking downfield. He's going to send this one deep. He's got a man. And Moon takes the defense over the top. An easy touchdown for the Peach Panthers, as University of Georgia in Cartersville gets double-digit points finally, as they'll go for 2 once again. Trying to go to the right-hand side once again. A better decision, but still an incomplete pass, though. And so another incompletion. But it is going to help them get into this game a little bit, though. Now down by 22 points. Still a free possession game that the Peach Panthers are going to have to deal with. Going to certainly have to lock up here, but if I'm showing a special teams play, you know what's going down. It's either going to be a touchdown or a turnover, and it's not going to be the latter, though, as that man is gone like a girl in a country song. Touchdown, Little Rock. And what a dramatic way to put a dagger in this one. Little Rock continues to have a dream season, winning 41-12 and improving to 7-0, still remaining undefeated in the inaugural ACSA. So following that impressive performance that the University of Little Rock just threw down that last game, let's go ahead and take a quick look around the ACSA for other scores, that we didn't get to see, live on the channel. First game is we have Bluffton Tech continuing to look dominant, as now they are one of the few teams in the ACSA with a 7-0 record, as now they have an impressive win on their resume, a 45-6 win over the Madison Lakers, a former top 25 squad. We also have an upset in the Big Pacific Conference. Anchorage Tech, the worst team in the Big Pacific Conference, goes on the road, plays against the number 16 team in the nation in the Seattle College Cascades, and somehow won the football game. Anchorage Tech won by a final score of 12-0, shutting them out in the process and handling Seattle College's first loss of the season. Meanwhile, Oaksterdam continues to remain unbeaten, as they now improve to 7-0 thanks to a 23-3 victory over the Wyoming Yellowstone Mounties, who do fall to 3-4 on the season. Will be interesting to see how high Oaksterdam climbs up in the top 25, given their 7-0 record. Meanwhile, Tacoma State easily takes care of business against Spokane Tech. Tacoma State improves to 5-2 on the season, thanks to this 33-3 victory on the road. Spokane Tech, meanwhile, just took their second loss of the season, and that makes it at least their second loss in the last 3 games. You know, let's see if they can bounce back in future weeks. Now, I also talked about how I gave so much love to the Clinton University Knights. They started off the season 5-0, they looked great, and because of that, they were ranked in the top 25. However, I think they might have been given too much love by the media now as they take their second straight loss in National Conference play. This time losing to the Alfred the Great Saxons, who do improve to 4-3, but the way that they lost is very disappointing. They will lose 36-0 at home. Look for these guys to definitely jump out of the top 25 poll because of that. The Hayes Indians also came into this week ranked number 10, and they were playing their fellow, not only big Southwest Conference opponent in Clinton College, but they're also playing another Indians football team. So you can call this the Indian Bowl, you know, depending on how you look at it. But the Clinton College Indians do come out on top. They won 17-9 and upset the number 10 team in the nation, handing Hayes their first loss of this inaugural season. Virginia Christian, on the other hand, though, looks extremely impressive as they are poised to go in and try to take control of the Sunshine Conference. Getting some boost in non-conference play, they played against Montana State Helena and do what they need to do, winning by a final score of 34-0. Montana State Helena has certainly struggled this season, falling to 1-6 this year. David Crockett also surprisingly takes their first loss of the season as they went on the road to play against a winless San Jose Dolphins team, and San Jose certainly played their hearts out. They win their first game of the season and beating a number 12 team in the nation that came in undefeated, and they gave David Crockett their very first loss of the season. Shout out to those guys over at San Jose for getting the job done. In other news, Southern New Mexico continues to show why they could be a playoff team when it's all said and done, as they destroy fellow Big Southwest Conference opponent in the Nazareth Maccabees, going on the road and just destroying all hopes and dreams, winning 57-0. Nazareth falls to 4-3 because of it. Moving over to the East Coast, we have the University of Mid-Atlantic recovering nicely. They played the South Carolina Tech Engineers in Atlantic Shore Conference play and got the job done. They won 29-17, which does improve their record to 6-1. So a great season for the Crabs over in Maryland. As for South Carolina Tech, they fall to 4-3 because of this road loss. The Iowa Institute of Technology also gets upset as well as they went on the road to play against the University of Iroquois Eagles, who fell out of the top 25 after losing their previous game, but they could jump back in thanks to this win against the number 13 team and doing it in a somewhat dominating fashion as well, winning 30-6. This is the Iowa Institute of Technology's first loss of the season. Meanwhile, Southfield narrowly avoids upset that could have been very devastating for their playoff hopes, as Southfield went on the road to play against the Rugby Boilermakers, and Rugby almost got the job done. They only lose 13-12. Southfield remains undefeated, but I imagine this game could hurt them in the polls. Hiawatha College continues to impress the Doubters as they went on the road in Big North Conference play, playing against a lower tier team in Morehead State, but not falling for a potential trap game, as the Hiawatha Chiefs do take care of business, beating Morehead State 26-6. Morehead State does fall to 3-4 on the season. Also, we had a pretty interesting matchup as Coastal Alabama did play up against Central Georgia A&M, who was ranked in the top 5 at one point, but after a loss in week 1 fell out and haven't been ranked since. Don't get it twisted, Central Georgia A&M is a very good team, despite not being ranked, and Coastal Alabama knew that and did what they needed to do. Playing at their highest level, they do defeat the Bulldogs by a final score of 26-12, improving to 6-1, whereas Central Georgia loses their very first game since week 1, breaking a 5-game winning streak. The Ceballo Dream also recover after losing their previous matchup, going on the road this time to play against the Bayou State Gators. They do win by a final score of 16-13 and improve to 6-1 on the season, whereas Bayou State does fall to 4-3 meanwhile. We also have a huge loss for Mississippi A&M as they continue their skid. They're now 4-3 after losing 29-0 to Prairieville, who does improve to 5-2 on the season. Look for Mississippi A&M to fall out of the top 25 thanks to another loss in Super South Conference play. On the other hand, though, Spring Creek is now on the up and up thanks to another victory. This time, a home win against the Louisiana Central Black Bears. They take care of business with ease, winning 45-6 as they try to close things up, try to get within distance of that Stars and Stripes Conference Championship game. So guys, that will end today's ACSA episode. If you enjoyed today's content, make sure you smash that like button as well as hit subscribe if you're new. This is John J. Gaming on the mic, hoping you guys are all having a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.